Hey, good morning. So I want to welcome you to an early morning session. It's absolutely gorgeous outside. I'll show you guys on here, and then I'll show you guys too. Look, isn't that gorgeous? Anyway, you'd think that I would have woken up absolutely fired up, which I am right now, but it took me some time to get here. So I want to talk to you about like waking up in the morning fired up, because if you're going to hit your goals and growing your business to the level that you want to, you're going to have to keep up the momentum. You're going to have to keep up the crazy energy that you see online like right now. And you're going to have to go, how do I keep that up consistently so that I create the results that I want? Actually, I want you to not even create the results that you want. I want you to go past the results that you want. So I want to ask you right now, what is your goal for 2019? What's your goal for 2019? Whether it's personal, whether it's business, whatever it is. And I want you to actually type it in right now. What is your goal? You know, if you put your goal out there, it's amazing how shit starts to happen. Sorry for the language this early in the morning. But it's like, I think about every major aspiration that I've been able to create in my life. Like, remember when I started my business, all I wanted to do was replace my job, make $5,000 a month. Now, you know, we sold $10 million in coaching last year. We took home over just $7 million. And we're going to do probably at least 20 million this year in sales. And I say all of that to be transparent, not to be boastful, because honestly, I still pinch myself. I still feel like, I don't know, I just haven't changed, other than I've gotten more outward giving, meaning that I've gotten more generous with my time in doing lives like this for absolutely free. Like, there was a time in my life that I'd say, you know, I'm going to save this type of content for my clients, or what if I don't have enough content for my clients if I give it all online for free? Like, that's how I used to think. So I've gotten more generous in doing things like this. Right now, I'm currently doing this every morning, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. It's called Coffee with Shanda at 7 a.m. This won't last forever, because I'll be on to the next thing that I'm doing, and it may be free, it may be paid, who knows what it is that I'm doing. It has everything to do with, as we scale from this income level to the next income level, the business changes dramatically. And as you know, if you take on more clients, or you change something in your business, all of a sudden there's a different pull on you that I don't know what that's going to take from me at this point. So please suck up everything, like use me at 7 a.m. for as long as I do this. So what I'm asking you to do is to engage with me. So first question is what is your goal for 2019? What is it? I want you to type it in the comment section. I want to see it. I want you to put it out there. I want you to not be afraid to put it out there. I believe that when you put things out into the universe, when you put things out online, when you actually put things out and other ears hear it, that it builds in this interesting accountability thing. Like, everybody wants accountability. I'm like, where most people say don't talk about your goals, I'm like, talk about your goals publicly everywhere. Like, talk about it with your family, talk about it with your clients, talk about it online, talk about it everywhere, because the more you talk about it in the present form, as if it is happening right now, and this is not law of attraction stuff. This is, I mean, I'm sure it is somewhere, but it really is just like holding yourself accountable to saying it over and over and over. No different than if you were learning how to make an offer for the first time, or learning how to be a copywriter, or learning how to speak on stages. You would practice it. The more you do it, the more likely you're going to succeed. So first and foremost, put your goal down, not just on paper, but put it here so I can see it, because I want to see who's following me. What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? Excuse me. My cup this morning says, be bold. So that's what I'm asking you to do right now. Sorry, my throat is getting a frog in it this morning. I haven't talked for 5 weeks because I've been off for 5 weeks. Okay, so that's first and foremost. Second thing is this morning I woke up, and it was funny because I actually don't watch Netflix very often, because I know this is crazy, but I actually think it's a waste of time. I would rather be doing something with my life that's more meaningful, although I do love Netflix series. So my nanny tells me about a Netflix series last night, and I'd already colored with my son. Actually, I was still coloring with my son, and she tells me about this Netflix show. So I put it on. It's called Lucifer. I'm totally into the Bible. I'm totally into scripture. So Lucifer, this whole thing about the devil, I was like, oh, this is interesting. So I turned it on. Great show. The guy's really cute. So you ladies would enjoy watching this. So I'm watching this show, and 8:30 or 8 o'clock hits. And I go to hit the next series, which we got to look for these time sucks in our life. I go to hit the next series, and my husband gets up to take our son to bed. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's right. I have work tomorrow. I have 7 a.m. coffee with Shanda. The reason why I'm telling you this is set things in your schedule that make you get up and get ready, right? Like, so I prepare all of my coffees with Shanda's in advance. I was sharing this with one of my clients yesterday. I said, when you do a live, do you do a live and prepare for it the same way that you prepare for a webinar or a workshop? And she was like, no. And I was like, what if you did that? What if you actually sat down and created curriculum? Like, these are only anywhere between 10 and 20-minute coffees with Shanda. So it's not a lot of time. You think if you're getting up and you're tuning in that I could spend some time actually developing content that will help you succeed. I've got this track mind. If you follow me every day and you show up every day, what's going to happen is you're going to grow exponentially. Because what's happening is you're following my train of thought, and my train of thought, the way I think, creates success. Now, I've trained myself, like so many hours I've trained myself. But this morning, and this is why I'm sharing this, and which is great because it was on the agenda for today, it was about what's your why behind your why. And what I mean by that is, you actually probably already know what I mean by that. Like, why are you doing what you're doing this year? You know, hopefully you put your goal down. Why are you doing what you're doing this year? And honestly, hopefully your goal is so big it scares the crap out of you, right? You don't have any clue how. You cannot work on a piece of paper how to make that amount of money or how to get that many clients. Like, you can't actually work it out on paper, right? Like, so like that's the type of goal I'm looking for. So it's a little bit bigger than what you would actually anticipate, like your ability to see how to get there, right? Now, to get yourself to stay consistent, it's that why behind the why. Like, why are you doing it? Okay, that's good. But why are you really doing it? And I woke up this morning and I'm just, you know, the year's just getting started. So I'm still connecting to my why. And what I've realized about myself is if I don't have stuff plastered everywhere in this beautiful home that I have, if I don't have stuff plastered everywhere, I forget about my why. So first plaster is on the end of my bed. Your life is passing. Then I realized I can't see it because it's dark in the morning. I can't see the sign. So I was like, oh, okay, I got to move that sign. That sign's got to go somewhere else, like maybe in my bathroom. But what's going to get me up in the morning? So I realized that now what I have to do is I have to remind myself before I go to bed. And so I've got a reminder coming up on my phone. I have a note beside my bed so that when I go to bed, I see my reminder. So right now, I am responsible for 2 of my parents. I have the most dysfunctional functional family. I actually think that so much success comes from dysfunction, which is so funny. It's like you're so clear you're not going to stay in that. But I do have the most dysfunctional functional family. I have moms. I have 2 moms. I have 3 dads, and we all spent Christmas together. Like, everybody gets together, and they have great relationships. And so with that being said, I've got 2 parents that are separated that I am taking care of. And meaning buying houses for, buying cars for, buying dental work for, you know, buying stuff for. And I was like, you know, even though I can do all of those things with my income, it's still like, you know, when you're buying like, you know, an $800,000 or $1 million home for a family member and you're responsible for the payments, you know, I don't know, like, I'll be really transparent with you. I even said to my husband and my stepdad and my dad the other day, I said, you know, I'm still getting used to being wealthy. I'm still getting used to being rich. I mean, I couldn't be any more transparent than that. It's still weird to me that I have this amount of income. And I hope that nobody thinks I'm a complete jerk for saying that. I'm so grateful for all of it. And I've worked, like my mom said, you're so lucky. Like, Mom, I'm not lucky. I've worked. I have worked and I have set up, you know, signs for myself. And normally I have my cup. This one says be bold. I actually like my cup better because I made it and it's much bigger. And, you know, I don't have coffee in here. I have dandelion tea in here. You know, like I hated anything but coffee. I have worked so hard not to give up on the things that I've wanted to change in my life to be able to build the woman that I am today. So like when I got up this morning and I wasn't flying out of bed, the thing that got me to swing my legs out of bed was literally the reminder, like, your life is passing. Take advantage of this life. Your life is passing. Take advantage of the life. Don't you want to see what you're capable of? Don't you want to see like what the full potential of what God created you to be? Don't you want to see what that looks like? Like, don't you want to like use up every breath of your life like on meaningful things? I mean, I even looked at my calendar yesterday and I was noticing, as the year is kicking off, I was busy. I got everything done I needed to get done. I was busy, but I wasn't busy. There were still big chunks of space in my calendar. And not that I have an issue with that, but I was noticing, so notice what you're noticing in a day. I have this little fly flying around. And I was noticing that there's some idle time. I was noticing that there's some idle time, and I was like, what? Like, how do I use more of my life? Right? How do you use more of your life? How do you use the idle time in your life to be able, and the time that you are working, how do you use it in a way that is really pushing the biggest levers possible? Like, I'm not saying I want to retweak your mind. Like, it's not good enough for us to just work on things that are moving us forward. You need to identify in your plan. If you haven't watched Coffee with Shanda yesterday, go watch it. Okay, if you're watching it on YouTube, like go back and watch yesterday's. It should auto come up. If you are on Facebook, go and look on my wall for yesterday. You're gonna see me. I was wearing a gray cap. Instagram, things go away on Instagram, unfortunately. So make sure you're following me on YouTube and type in Hardcore Business. Type in Hardcore Business to find me on YouTube, not my name. Type in Hardcore Business. I'm branding the company, not my name. I actually have no desire to be a celebrity. I want to be the face of this company, but I want the company to take the credit, not me. Know where you're going and know why. So my why right now is really my family. I mean, it really is my biggest pull. Like, I do want to build $1 billion business. And the reason why is because I trust myself and I trust that I can influence people at a level that's great. Like, I still don't go, oh, I got to work with my clients, or shit, this is too hard, or I'm exhausted. I still don't do that because I get that every day is a blessing. And so as you build your businesses, stop complaining about the work. Stop complaining about the frustrations of figuring it out, and tweak your brain in a way that not only are you connected with your why, that's your driver. People underestimate this. You've been hearing it for years, but how much is your why in front of you every single day? Like, if you know it works, if the top performers do it, why haven't you figured out a way to be able to dominate your brain, otherwise inundate your brain, become obsessed with your why? It will take you out of ever worrying about not hitting your goals, because it stops being even about a dollar amount or any of that. It stops being about any of that. It starts being about your why. So I always say this, when I get a client that says, I really like, my wife, makes a lot of money, or my husband takes care of all the bills. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, they don't have to do it. Like, you will do it when you have to. When I hear somebody say, I'm losing my house, I get excited. And the reason why I get excited is because I was there. I lost 3 and lived 7 years of bad credit, meaning I had to pay cash for things, everything, cars, everything. That's how I learned how to become a cash generator. My husband always says on the market, he's been to a lot of my friends' masterminds, which you probably have watched many of my friends online. And literally, like, for literally $997 to $1,200 a month, I will give you performance coaches. And you want to talk about performance coaches who have been in performance coaching for 30, 40 years, who are the best, who have influenced me forever in optimizing my life so that I get up and I do what I say I'm going to do, and I overperform, and I'm not exhausted. And how do I have this size of a company and I don't neglect my child, I don't neglect my husband, I don't neglect my friends, I don't neglect any of that. So how can you say if you have a business at 100,000, 200,000, 60,000, 500,000 that you're neglecting your fitness, your family, or any of those things? That's a problem. But it's not the business. You don't have to pull back from these things. It's you. It's you. So wake up. That's what performance coaches change in you, right? So I give that in my programs, for price, like where you meet with them every single month, like by yourself, not in a group, because I think that group coaching without any sort of private coaching doesn't really work. People get lost. Right? Wake up, influencers. Like if you're throwing out products out there that you don't have high touch in, it doesn't work. People get lost. So why do we keep selling it and convincing people into it? Right? So my point sharing all of this with you is that when you know your why behind your why and you inundate your brain with it and you learn the strategies that don't drop the people and the things that you love, then what happens is your life and your influence and your business, and it skyrockets. But sometimes people are looking for whys that they're not even connected to, right? They're looking for whys like, I want to change the world. Yeah, so do I. That's my $1 billion goal, right? But my biggest thing that scares me the most on my vision board this year and on my goals this year is literally the $1 million donation. Only because not that I don't think I can donate $1 million this year. It's actually that I'm having to let go of $1 million and I'm still getting used to being rich. And that personal development thing going on inside me that's stretching and ripping, that's the thing that you're facing too in some area. And so follow me every day, show up every day, share these lives. I look for people who share. Yesterday's on Facebook, not Instagram, had 20 shares, which is great. But what if we got 200 shares? Like let's start playing the game of generosity, connecting with people, showing up. Let me pour into you, but also help me share this information so that we can help more people. That's the point here. Imagine if we lived in a world where I was helping you, you were helping me, your clients were helping you, you were helping your clients over and above what they paid for. What happened if we started over-delivering versus under-delivering? Where would your life be right now if everybody that you worked for over-delivered versus under-delivered, and you actually took advantage of it because you had the mindset to be able to absorb it, to be able to take it in, to get that you're worthy, that you deserve that level of success? That's why you would take advantage of something. So the thing that's firing me up right now is that my life is passing. My life is passing. I'm seeing the next age come up. I'm seeing, my mom get much older. I'm seeing, I saw a picture of my mom and my mom said, God, I'm starting to look old. And I'm like, and I'm talking to her about the fact that, like, let's have you in California to be together, while you still have your vitality, while we can still do things together, versus when I'm putting you in a home next to me, or, you know what I mean, where you can't actually walk around La Jolla with me or something like that. Like, life is now. So what's motivating me is that my life is passing. That's what got me up this morning. But where my gap is and where your gap might be is making sure that my why is in front of me when I go to bed, when I wake up, but not just for the next week or two. Follow me every day, and we will do this where we will together, when you're sharing and tagging people, you're fueling me, right? And so when I'm showing up and I'm letting you into my brain, you're going to climb with me at the same time. So here's the last thing I want to share with you. I don't care what coach you're coaching with. I don't care if it's me or it's somebody else, but do not go into 2019 and let any more of the year go without a coach. I mean, just don't. I don't work out without a coach, not consistently. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, you guys. Like, I think sometimes you think, like, you watch people online and it's like, I don't know what filter you're looking through and what story you create about people, that they somehow have this superpower to just always, like, keep their word 100% of the time and always, stay consistent and never fall off. That is just not real. We are human. We all sin. It's just the way it is. And so every time we break our word, we sin. Every time we worry, scripture says it's a sin. So we sin all day long. So with that being said, none of us are perfect. None of us. So why are you building a strategy into your life that requires you to be perfect? So get a coach. Get a coach for everything that you need any level of accountability for. Get a coach, right? And then use your coach. Don't just say, you cannot be the type of person that's like, I'm not getting enough from my coach. Okay, where's your half of the deal? I've gotten more than enough out of every coach I've hired, every single one. And that has everything to do with me knowing my why and optimizing things. So it's not good enough this year for you to say, I'm not showing up the way I need to show up or the way I could. That's not good enough. So what do we need to do? You need to follow me every single day. And this is not a ploy to have you follow me. I can send an email to my email list in full transparency and have, a lot of people on these lives like that. I haven't even sent an email reminding them to get on with me. I haven't even done any of that yet. But my point is that I want to pour into you, but I want you to show up and do something with it. And the way that I know that you're doing that is because you're sharing, because you're commenting, because you're tagging, because people share things that they're inspired by. And if you're not inspired by my work, then I'm going to change the way that I'm giving, right? So I'm waiting to hear, is this helpful? Is this helpful? And are you going to do what I ask you to do this year? And are we going to climb past those goals and aspirations? Are we going to stop holding back? Are we going to stop taking a break? Are we going to actually schedule in breaks, schedule in time with our families, schedule in things, and then keep our word to those things so that we don't feel like we're skipping date nights or we're skipping workouts, or you know what I mean? Let's just stop being that person, because our life is passing. Our life is passing. And every moment that you can breathe is a moment of a blessing. And I'm going to tell you, there's nobody knows this better than people who have lost their health or lost somebody that they loved instantly. I just found out somebody on our team lost a mother instantly, right? Didn't see it coming over the Christmas holidays. So I'm telling you, you already know this. You already know this, but you aren't doing enough about it. I know you're not, because I know that there's still more in me and there's still more in you. So let's take it to the top this year. Let's take it to the top. All right, that's it. I'm going to go have breakfast with my son and my husband, my time with them, and then I'm going to crush it today in work. All right, here's to rocking it. I'll talk to you soon, everybody. Bye.